one of the reasons I'm really pleased to be here is, well, I should first confess, sorry, I am one of those dastardly, terrible, evil politicians, but I have a crossover role because I work in the media and arts industry in the UK. I've chaired a large arts organisation in the poorest part of London, where I was the Member of Parliament for a decade, and I work for Channel 4 as Head of Diversity, and my job is to get a more diverse range of people on screen and off screen, the people actually making the programmes. I got to realise how undiverse life is by spending a decade in the British Parliament. I was the second black woman. Well, you guys, I don't look very black, do I? It's not good, but it's quite embarrassing. But you know, mixed race people, you're not black, you're not white, you're not anything. Anyway, the point is, I've spent my life surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of white middle-class men, and I just want to say something very important right here, right now. I love white middle-class men. I do. I really do. I genuinely do. I am married to one, so give yourselves a round of applause now. Excellent. It's great. Now, I have nothing whatsoever against white middle-class men, especially as my husband is holding the babies, no doubt, as we speak. But I just feel they shouldn't be the only people represented, whether in the political system, or in the arts, or in the financial sector, or in any other sector. And I realised how tricky diversity could be, and how it's not just a cultural thing. Don't get all that white guilt, because that just doesn't take us any further forward. I realised when I was on a parliamentary delegation and we arrived in a very remote African village, and I got out of this cavalcade of British MPs in their Land Rovers, and we were greeted by the African chief and his entourage, and they all shook hands with the MPs until they got to me, and they thought I was a Sherpa, and they gave me the luggage. And I realised that whether you're an African chief or a European arts or TV executive, it's easy to stereotype people, isn't it? And often you get those stereotypes from arts and cultural organisations and institutions, and that's why I think we have a particular responsibility in our sector, because we both reflect society and shape society. So, on to the pledge, and I will be brief. In fact, you're very lucky you have a security guard to thank for the fact that I am discarding about 20 pages of a PowerPoint presentation here tonight. So, you know, you haven't done badly out of this 20-hour journey to get here. But anyway, so the pledge, I just wanted to mention very briefly what the British broadcasting industry did to try and increase diversity, because it may be a model that Denmark and other Nordic countries or other countries may want to consider. Basically, the heads of all the television broadcasters, that is BBC, Channel 4, ITV, Sky, 5, etc., sat around and they said, oh my God, we're all white. Oh my God, we're all white men. Oh my God, we're all old white men. Anyway, and middle class. Let's not forget the class thing. Very big in Britain. I'm sure it's quite big here as well. Although, well done Denmark on being one of the most equal societies in the world. I wonder how it is, I don't know, but I'm sure you'll tell me later. Anyway, the point is that they decided to set up a diversity pledge, and it may be something, I hope it is something that you will decide to do, because essentially it takes an arts industry to say, we don't have enough diversity, we want to increase that diversity, and we are asking organisations, cultural institutions, to take measurable steps to increase diversity so that we reflect, in our case, contemporary Britain, but society. And there is a link also to the business case. I won't go into any of that now. It's dinner, you know, I need to shut up. So I'm just going to tell you the areas that we concentrated on, and I will finish this in about 1.5 minutes. So give me 90 seconds. It's basically recruitment, is the first area, and you need to measure this. If you want to manage something, measure it. You measure everything else that's important, so actually measure how many people, if you're at an arts institution, how many of your productions this year included people from underrepresented groups? What are the actual numbers? Because when Channel 4, BBC, Sky and others actually looked at the numbers, they were shocked and they decided to increase the amount of action they were doing. So recruitment is the first thing. The second area is content. Portrayal is not just about representation, faces on screen. You actually have to portray people in an authentic, fair and obviously non-prejudicial manner. The third area was senior decision making. You need to get the people on boards, the senior executives, the CEOs, to take forward this agenda. You can't just leave it to a head of diversity, say. It's got to be everyone's job in the organisation. And the last area was to organise events like this, events that get people to stop and think about diversity. So I will end you just with a quick anecdote, which is about a man walking through Hampstead Heath, a very nice park in London, and he hears this terrible noise of a dog, a very vicious, ferocious pit bull terrier attacking this young girl, maybe even a baby. Did you hear those sound effects come in right at that moment? And so he runs across and he rescues the girl from the jaws of the pit bull terrier, drags the dog off her, in the process kills the dog, and the mother comes up and says, "Oh, thank you for saving my daughter, you are a hero. Tomorrow the newspapers will say, brave British man rescues girl." And he said, "Oh, but I'm not British." And she said, "Okay, then I'll say brave Londoner rescues girl." And he said, "I'm not from London." And she said, "Well, where are you from?" He said, "I'm from Afghanistan." The next morning the papers said, "British dog killed by Islamic terrorist." So let's just keep that in mind, make sure we stop the stereotypical portrayal of people and drive diversity through the arts and cultural sector. I hope you have a good dinner. Thank you very much.